Hello again, everyone. I'm Charles Gross.
And I'm Leslie Hoban Blake.
Welcome to Two on the Aisle. Let's talk about Smash.
Oh, okay.
The Broadway musical. You enter the theater. The curtain goes up. An actress named Ivy Lynn sings a song from the musical Bombshell, Let Me Be Your Star. And it is at that point that any resemblance between Smash the musical and Smash the TV show ends. The creators have gone in a very different direction. The creators being the book by Bob Martin and Rick Elise, music by Mark Shaman, lyrics by Scott Whitman and Mark Shaman. So they have a cast. Here Ivy Lynn is a big star. She's the one who got them all the money for the show. She's playing Marilyn. She's wonderful to work with. But then, oh no, she discovers a book on the method, which you would think an actress as experienced as she is would have at least heard of it. But Marilyn studied the method, so she finds this ancient method teacher and goes in it, and disaster follows for everybody.
Well, the way that it's Kristen Nelson who plays the ancient crone, as it were. Lee Strasberg ran the studio. John Strasberg was his son. Paula Strasberg was his wife. She was the one that dressed like that. So that Kristen Nelson is doing some sort of nasty satire of Paula Strasberg, but Paula Strasberg did put her claws into Marilyn and did try to make her and mold her and whatnot when she was at the studio.
And that is exactly what this character tries to do with Ivy.
Right.
And all of a sudden, Ivy is making demands. Call me Marilyn all the time,
Right.
this, that. And this woman who apparently had a wonderful reputation is basically ruining it.
Right.
And you've got some really excellent performances here. You have Robin Herder as Ivy Lynn. And she sings and she dances. She's tossed. She's like a human windmill in some of these numbers. It's amazing. You have Carolyn Bowman as her understudy, who also gets a few.
Now this disturbed me terribly, because in the television series, which I know it's not what this is,
it is not.
One of the plot points was that there were two of them going for the same role.
Yes.
Without that tension, with them being friends, with Karen loving her, there's nothing going on. They've given her a whole other line, but so poor Karen doesn't really have that much to do except say, "Oh, gee, I'm sorry. Oh, I'd like to help you," and that's not that interesting for her.
And when Ivy is missing, Karen thinks she's going to get her big break, and all of a sudden the poor girl gets sick.
Right. So, but my point being that they really ruined one of the plot points by doing that. It's an important plot point, I think.
Right. Well, I also want to mention Bella Coppola as the assistant director. She's the one who actually goes on, even though she has a face and a figure that do not invoke Marilyn Monroe.
She looks like a normal girl, a little pudgy, perhaps.
Yes.
So but she has a great voice.
Yes,
and
she does.
Sings the song.
You've got three women giving three boffo performances. I also enjoy Nicholas Matos as the newly hired assistant to the show's producer. His father put money in the show, who really needs an education in theater history, but occasionally comes up with a good idea.
Well, we've also not named Brooks Ashmanskis. I always say his name wrong. Ashmanskis.
All right.
Who is doing basically Brooks Ashmanskis. This is what he does. He did this in The Prom.
And he does it very well. Now, he's the director. Now, you may remember in the TV series, Nigel was this Englishman
Jack
who was hitting on all the women.
Absolutely.
He is he's an American. He's a gay man. He is in love with one of the chorus members, but he's not going to go near him because he's a professional. So it's a total 180 of the original character.
I was so disappointed. I mean, the commercials are on all the time, and the minute the commercial comes on, they play that opening part of "Let Me Be Your Star," and I start to sing it, and I love the song, and that's I came in singing those songs, and I went out singing those songs, and I didn't care for the show very much at all.
I actually saw a presentation of it about a year ago, so I was prepared.
Was it somewhat what you saw, or?
The ending was very, very different, and they've changed. The changes they have made are definitely for the better, and of course the show is much more polished. So I came in not expecting the TV show, and I think if you come in with that attitude, you can have a very good evening.
Well, I knew that it wasn't going to be the TV show. They made sure to tell us that it wasn't the TV show. This was a brand new thing. By the way, Mark Shaman was in the back of the house. Martin Short was sitting in front of us. I mean, it was people were there. But as I say, if I hadn't ever seen the show, I might have had a different feeling about this. But I just felt there was no dynamic tension. There was fake tension, you know, Marilyn wanting to be this and that. But I didn't get any sense of...
Well, I felt a real tension. My feeling, though, is get rid of the crone, get rid of this teacher. The producer is paying her quite a bit, apparently, and they're saying, oh, we can't fire her because Ivy won't let us. You know, Ivy, you've got a contract. I mean, this is an experienced Broadway producer, an experienced Broadway director. It stretches the reality even for this,
even further, right?
This atmosphere on it. That said, I had fun.
We left one person out, Krista Rodriguez, who was in the TV series. Krista played the girl downtown off Broadway doing the show.
Well, here she's moved uptown.
Here she's moved uptown.
And she is one of the writers.
Right.
And I think John Bellman is her husband. So they are a husband and wife team. And yes, they give good
a nod to that.
Yeah, a nod to that. Good performances, a little comic relief.
Robin Herder is a terrific performer.
Yes.
I think I liked her better than Megan Helty. I'm just saying. When I try to put them together in my head, that's what I thought.
I actually think she looks better without the Marilyn Monroe wig. Okay. How many playbills out of 1 to 5 would you give this show?
2.5.
Ooh, okay.
I really didn't have a good time.
I actually did have a good time, so I will give it 3.5. And that is our show for today. And when you go to the theater, look for Leslie and me, us too.
On the aisle.